Warning: when the grid goes down, you won't find toilet paper, power tools, or instant noodles. But if you've got these 10 hidden Amish tools, you might just make it. Stay tuned, because number 4 will blow your mind. Hey everyone, I'm Davis. For over 15 years I've prepared, from living off-grid, preparing for economic collapse, and studying how traditional communities like the Amish survive without modern conveniences. I know what it feels like when the grocery shelves empty, the bank freezes, and lines form for fuel. If you're worried about inflation, supply chain breakdowns, or potential EMP-style blackouts, you're not alone. Today I'm sharing 10 old-school tools you've probably never heard of, but once the lights go out, you'll wish you had them. You'll learn how to get water, clean clothes, and repair tools with zero electricity. How to grow, preserve, and cook food for months, maybe years. How to build, maintain, and defend a home with manual tools built to last. Why these items are often ignored, and how to get them without breaking the bank. Thousands of smart preppers are already adding these to their go bags and homesteads. If you want to survive, don't skip this. When supply chains collapsed in 2020 and prices surged, I watched firsthand as cast iron cookware and food preserving gear saved my family thousands of dollars. I realized modern prep lists often miss basic tools that are critical when power, fuel, and electricity vanish. Historically, communities like the Amish have thrived for decades, not because they stockpiled gold or guns, but because they mastered self-reliance, water, food, tools, home maintenance, all without modern electricity. That's why today I'm sharing the lesser-known essentials nobody else is talking about. Item 1. Manual hand pump, well pump. Most homes today, especially in suburban or rural areas, rely on electric pumps for water. When the power goes out, so does the water. No water means no drinking, no cooking, no washing, and survival becomes difficult fast. That's why a manual hand pump is one of the most important tools you can have. It works completely by hand, so even if the grid, solar panels, or generators fail, you still have access to groundwater. With a manual pump, you can draw water for drinking, cooking, cleaning, or even watering small gardens. Many older homes already have wells with a casing that can fit a hand pump. If you're installing one from scratch, you need to plan the well depth and choose the right type of pump. Options include pitcher pumps, suction pumps, and hand lever models. Keep spare washers and seals on hand because these small parts wear out over time. For those on a budget, older cast iron pitcher pumps are a hidden gem. You can often find them used at salvage yards or estate sales for under $100. New basic models from homestead suppliers cost more but are still cheaper than running a generator long term. Availability is decent. Homesteading supply stores carry them, and you can order online. Big box stores rarely stock these, so checking farm supply shops or online sources is key. Here's the pro tip most people ignore. Rubber gaskets and seals degrade over time. Keep the pump greased and winterized in freezing climates. Many preppers focus on food, fuel, and tools, but completely forget water. Without it, nothing else matters. And that's where most people fail before disaster even strikes. Item 2. Treadle, foot-powered. Sewing machine clothing wears out, rips, or gets damaged over time. When stores are closed and buying new clothes isn't an option, a treadle sewing machine becomes a lifesaver. It works entirely by foot, so you don't need electricity, batteries, or fuel to repair or make garments. With a treadle machine, you can fix torn pants, patch jackets, mend tents, or even create canvas gear. It's not just about clothes. It's about keeping your family protected and your gear functional in a long-term emergency. Many Amish homes rely on these machines for daily life, and they can last decades if cared for properly. Installing one is simple if you find a vintage model. Means many treadle machines are still available through estate sales, thrift shops, or online marketplaces. Practice basic stitching now so you're ready when the time comes. Stock up on heavy-duty thread, needles, and some durable fabrics like denim or canvas. Budget-wise, used treadle machines are often very affordable, sometimes under $150. Newer models exist, but the vintage units are usually more durable and reliable. Spare needles and machine oil are small items that make a huge difference over time. Here's where most people mess up. They underestimate clothing maintenance. They stockpile food, water, and tools, but forget that worn clothes or torn gear can make life miserable fast. Learning to use a treadle machine now ensures you have the ability to repair, create, and survive long-term without relying on stores or power. Item 3. Hand crank sharpeners, manual grinders, and augers tools are only as good as their sharpness. Axes, knives, saws, and woodworking tools dull quickly. Without electricity, a dead battery, or a broken generator, most modern sharpeners won't work. That's why hand crank sharpeners and manual grinders are essential. They let you maintain tools by hand, keeping them ready for cutting, building, or repairs. Manual augers and braces are equally important. Drilling holes for shelter, fencing, or furniture doesn't have to stop just because the power is out. Using a hand brace with auger bits gives you full control without any electricity. These tools can literally keep your home functional when everything else fails. To implement this, pick up a hand crank sharpening stone or grinder and a solid wooden brace with auger bits. Practice sharpening knives, axes, and saws on scrap wood so you're comfortable before a real emergency. Keep spare grinding stones and auger bits on hand because worn-out parts are useless in the moment. Budget options are easy to find. Many vintage or used hand crank sharpeners cost under $50, and wooden braces are cheap at estate sales or tool resale shops. These tools are less common in big box hardware stores, but homestead supply stores and online marketplaces usually carry them. Here's the pro tip most people miss. Keeping your tools sharp now saves you from disaster later. Many preppers focus on acquiring tools but forget maintenance. A dull axe or a broken saw can make survival tasks slow, dangerous, or even impossible. And that's where most people fail when the lights go out. Item 4. Manual washing setup. Clean clothes are essential for hygiene and health. When electricity is gone, washers and dryers are useless, and dirty clothes pile up fast. A hand crank washing machine or even a simple tub with a plunger lets you wash clothes by hand, keeping your family clean without power. With this setup, you can scrub, rinse, and spin clothes using only manual effort. It works for shirts, pants, towels, and even heavier fabrics like canvas or blankets. Hanging clothes on a line or indoor drying rack finishes the process. This simple system ensures hygiene, comfort, and morale during long-term power outages. To implement, choose a hand-crank tub washer or a large tub and scrub board. Stock up on natural or lye soap and set up a designated drying area. Practice washing and rinsing clothes now to learn the most efficient methods. Budget options are very affordable. A simple tub, plunger, and scrub board cost very little compared to modern machines. Used hand crank washers are sometimes found for under $100 at thrift stores or online. Here's the key point most preppers overlook. Hygiene is often ignored until it's too late. Dirty clothes can spread disease and lower morale, making survival harder. A manual washing setup gives you independence from power, and keeping it ready now ensures your family stays clean and healthy when modern conveniences fail. Item 5. Manual cider fruit press. Fresh fruit can spoil quickly, and without electricity, juicers or blenders won't work. A manual cider or fruit press lets you turn apples, pears, and other fruits into juice, cider, or vinegar, preserving nutrients and extending shelf life without power. With a press, you can process harvests from your garden or foraged fruit into drinkable liquids, or even fermented products. Juice can be consumed fresh, stored, or turned into vinegar for cooking and cleaning. This ensures your family has access to vitamins and calories, even during a blackout or long-term supply shortage. To implement, choose a wooden lever press or screw-type manual press. Gather glass bottles or food-safe containers for storage, and keep cheesecloth or fine strainers handy. Practicing the pressing and bottling process now will make it easier when the stakes are higher. Budget options are surprisingly reasonable. Small vintage hand presses are often available online or at estate sales for under $150. New homestead models cost more, but are still far cheaper than relying on powered appliances. Here's the pro tip most people miss. Always keep spare gaskets and parts for the press, and store containers for the juice in a cool, dark place. Many preppers stock food, but forget ways to process or preserve it. A manual press ensures that your fruit doesn't go to waste and gives you a steady supply of nutrition when modern tools are useless. Item 6. Hand planes and draw knives, wood shaping tools. Building and repairing wooden structures is a must when electricity is gone. Power tools fail in a blackout, but hand planes and draw knives let you shape wood, smooth boards, and fit beams by hand. These simple tools are essential for furniture, doors, fences, and small shelters. With a hand plane, you can level uneven boards, remove rough edges, and make lumber fit perfectly. A draw knife is perfect for shaving logs, creating beams, or shaping curved wood for repairs. Together, they let you handle most woodworking tasks without any power. To implement, get a quality hand plane and a sturdy draw knife. Learn basic woodworking techniques and practice on scrap wood. Keep blades sharp and store them in a dry place to prevent rust. Spare blades are inexpensive but vital for long-term use. Budget options are widely available. Many vintage hand planes and draw knives are sold cheaply at estate sales, thrift stores, or online marketplaces. New tools exist but are often pricier, while used ones can last decades if maintained properly. Here's the pro tip most people miss. Dull blades make work slow and frustrating. Many preppers buy tools but forget how to care for them. Regular sharpening and proper storage ensure that these hand tools remain reliable when you need them most, letting you build and repair without relying on electricity or modern equipment. Item 7. Broad fork, push plough. Dibblers for gardening. Growing food without power is critical during a long-term blackout. Gas-powered tillers and tractors won't work, but hand tools like broad forks, push ploughs and dibblers make gardening possible. These tools help you prepare soil, plant seeds, and maintain crops manually. A broad fork loosens and aerates soil without turning it over too much, keeping nutrients intact. Push ploughs help with weeding or small-scale tilling, while dibblers make perfect holes for planting seeds evenly. Together, they allow you to grow vegetables, grains, and herbs without electricity. To implement, get a durable broad fork or push plough and a set of dibblers. Plan garden beds, prepare compost, and store quality seeds for rotation. Practice using these tools before you need them to make your work efficient and less tiring. Budget options are easy to find. Used broad forks and push ploughs from farms or homesteading stores are affordable, and dibblers are inexpensive. Even a small 20x20-foot garden can provide enough food for a family with the right planning and manual tools. Here's where most preppers mess up. They focus on storing canned food and forget about growing their own supply. Without the ability to plant and maintain crops, long-term survival becomes much harder. Using these manual gardening tools ensures you can produce fresh food, maintain independence, and stay prepared when the grid is down. Item 8. Manual butter churn and dairy tools. Fresh dairy products are a staple for nutrition, but modern refrigerators and mixers won't work during a blackout. A manual butter churn lets you turn cream into butter by hand, giving your family a source of fats, calories, and cooking staples without electricity. With a hand crank or plunger-style churn, you can process cream from milk into butter and buttermilk. It's perfect for baking, cooking, and even preserving food. Using simple dairy tools like wooden paddles, hand-cranked separators, and cheese molds allows you to extend the life of milk and make cheese, keeping your diet diverse and nutritious. To implement, find a quality vintage or modern hand-crank churn. Keep glass jars, wooden paddles, and clean cloths on hand for storage and processing. Practice churning now so you're familiar with timing and technique. It's easier when the pressure is low. Budget options are very accessible. Used churns often sell for under $50, $100 at thrift stores, estate sales, or online marketplaces. Small dairy kits with paddles and molds are inexpensive and last for years if cared for properly. Here's the pro tip most people miss. Cleaning and sanitizing your churn and tools is crucial to prevent spoilage. Many preppers overlook dairy prep, focusing only on canned or frozen food. With a manual butter churn, you can maintain fats and protein for your family, keeping meals nutritious, versatile, and independent of power. Item 9. Wood-fired cooking equipment. When electricity and gas are gone, cooking becomes a huge challenge. Most modern kitchens depend entirely on power, but wood-fired cooking equipment lets you prepare meals anytime, using nothing but wood or other biomass. Rocket stoves, cast iron stoves, or even simple fire pits give you heat for cooking, boiling water, and warming food. With a wood-fired stove, you can cook everything from soups and stews to baked bread and roasted vegetables. Boiling water becomes easy, which is essential for hygiene and safe drinking. Even long-term meal prep and canning are possible with the right setup. To implement, choose a stove or oven appropriate for your space. Small rocket stoves are portable, while cast iron stoves work well for larger cooking and heating needs. Stockpile dry wood, kindling, and fire-starting materials like matches, lighters, or flint. Practice cooking meals now so you know burn times, heat control, and safety techniques. Budget options are surprisingly affordable. Small rocket stoves can cost under $100, and vintage wood stoves are often available for a few $100s. Even homemade stoves made from bricks or metal drums can work effectively. Here's the pro tip most preppers overlook. Ventilation and smoke control are critical. Many people focus on food storage but forget how to cook when the grid is down. A reliable wood-fired cooking setup ensures your family eats hot, nutritious meals and stays safe, even during long-term blackouts. Item 10. Solar still and water purification kit. Even with a manual well pump, you can't always guarantee clean water. Contaminated water can make you sick fast. A solar still or simple water purification kit ensures you have drinkable water when the grid, filters, or municipal supply fail. A solar still uses sunlight to evaporate water from plants, soil, or even dirty sources, then condenses it into clean, drinkable water. Pair it with portable filters, ceramic purifiers, or iodine tablets to cover multiple backup options. This combination gives you redundancy, critical when every drop counts. To implement, set up a small solar still using a clear plastic sheet, container, and tubing. Keep a compact water purification kit with filters, tablets, and a metal pot for boiling. Practice using them on non-emergency days to understand output and timing. Budget options are very reasonable. You can make a DIY solar still for under $20, while portable water filters cost $50, $100. Tablets and spare filter cartridges are inexpensive and last for years if stored properly. Here's the pro tip most people miss. Water is the foundation of survival, yet many preppers focus only on food or fuel. Multiple purification methods and backup water sources mean you're prepared even if one method fails. A solar still or purification kit ensures you never run out of safe drinking water, keeping your family healthy when modern conveniences are gone. All right, let's recap the 10 Amish household items that can keep you alive and self-reliant after an EMP blackout. Manual hand pump for water treadle, foot-powered sewing machine, hand crank sharpeners and manual grinders, manual washing setup, manual cider and fruit press, hand planes and draw knives for woodworking broad forks, push ploughs, and dibblers for gardening manual butter churn and dairy tools. Wood-fired cooking equipment, solar still and water purification kit. These aren't flashy gadgets or expensive survival tech. They're proven, reliable, and, most importantly, they work when everything else fails. The best time to prepare was yesterday. The second best time is right now. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got a new video coming next week showing 15 Amish winter survival hacks that could save your life in 2025. You do not want to miss it. Drop a comment below telling me which of these items you're planning to grab first. I read every single one, and your questions could help thousands of other families get prepared. Stay safe, stay prepared, and remember, we're not paranoid, we're prudent. Don't wait for the blackout to learn which tools actually work. Take action today.